Hello, Beard Wizard family and beer enthusiasts. Welcome back to the 12 Days of Beermas. It's day 12. It's the last day. It's Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas. Happy Yule. Happy New Year soon. This is the last day. So, what is the 12 Days of Beermas? Well, before we jump into that, be sure to subscribe. Get us to 5,000 subscribers as soon as we can. I was hoping by the end of the year. It's not going to happen. 4,500 by the end of the year would be fantastic, though, because that would still be more than I expected this year. And it will help us start setting the next goal to 7,500, which is our next planned milestone. The 12 Days of Beermas is, well, I used to do a Battle of the Beer Advent calendars, and I couldn't get any Advent calendars this year. So we found a 12 Days of Christmas beer box from the same company that makes the German Advent calendar, Kalia. And then we selected 12 US beers to pit against them to do the same kind of thing. So I sample the beers. I tell you which one wins. Currently, Germany is winning 10-2. Yeah, the US beers have been pretty bad. Some of them were decent, but just not as good as the German beers. Some of them were actually really good. Several of them not so much. Sorry, US breweries. You don't need to make everything taste like an IPA. You don't have to use so much hops. You don't have to use so many flavors. Just make good beer. Just stop trying to outdo the last fancy hipster bullshit beer. Just make good beer. But it's the last day. I also like to make this as informational as possible. I'm sorry, I'm getting really weird glare off my glasses. Anyway, so we're going to take a look at the breweries, the beer styles. We're going to talk about them before we get into the sampling. So up first, from Germany, from First Karl, their Kellerbier. Now, First Karl, and I spelled it wrong in the description, I realize, because it's F-U-R-S-T, not First, F-I-R-S-T. First Karl Brewery started, their story begins in 1815. The Field Marshal Karl Philipp, Prince of Ried, received the Teutonic castle Ellingen from King Max the First Joseph as a royal throne and fiefdom. Out of respect and in honor of the brave and passionate Field Marshal, every firstborn son has been named Karl after him. Today, the company, the First von Ried company, is run by the 6th and 7th generation Karl Friedrich, Prince of Ried, his son Karl Christian, Prince of Ried, and Karl Christian's wife, Caitlin, Princess of Ried. So this is literally royal beer. And Kellerbier is an interesting style. It is a German lager, but it's usually unfiltered, unpasteurized. It's cloudy. It originates from the Franconia region, and it usually contains a lot more yeast. It's a more raw flavor. It's actually not. It's not my preferred style of beer. It tends to be very hoppy. It tends to be a little bitter. But again, it's a very raw sort of beer, a Kellerbier. Now, facing off, I know this got picked because of the can, but we also want it to be fair. And I know a buddy of mine, Jeremy, likes IPAs, and I didn't want to not include them because I don't like IPAs. I wanted it to be fair. So up against the German beer is Carbon 4 Brewing's Fantasy Factory. As you can see, you have a cat in a headband with a gun with a gold desert eagle riding a unicorn who's shooting flames out of their nose on an 8-bit rainbow. Yeah. But I don't know if you can read that right there. It's an IPA. Anyway, this is a 6.3%, very hefty alcohol content for most beers, and this is a 5.1, relatively average for most beers. So I actually had enough steins this year. When I do the advent calendars, I run out of steins. I have to double up, but this year I had enough, and we're doing it in the last stein. I actually got this last year. Very beautiful blue stein with a German eagle on the front. It's a small stein, unfortunately. It was advertised on eBay as a half liter. This is not a half liter stein. It's about a 12-ounce stein. Uh, I was very disappointed. And the lady who sold it's like, well, I thought it was half liter. I like, a half liter stein has a half liter mark on it. You could have also measured it by pouring half a liter of liquid into it to see if it was half a liter or a 12 ounce. Anyway, regardless, beautiful stein. Here we go. Kellerbier. Prost. Yeah, it's if Germany had an IPA, this would be it. It's not as bad as most US IPAs. It's still very hoppy. It's very raw. Um, it's bitter. It's not very refreshing. It's honestly not very good. Why is the last day got to be like this? It's not that good. We'll see. It might come down to the can this time. It depends on how bad this IPA is. Now, for those of you who have not played the home game or been with me before, my wife and I came up with a rating for IPAs. It's a rating of 1 to 5 based on how many hipsters it tastes like you licked. Um, 5 being the sweatiest, dirtiest, rankest hipster who just went through an all-day summer concert, all the way down to 1. Um, this this rates about 2 on the hipster scale. This is pretty. It's pretty hoppy. It's pretty rank. But here we go. Oh God, this smells. It smells like tea. It smells. That's. Cheers. Oh yeah. Well, I'm getting some citrus at least. That's actually cutting through, like lemon peel. Let's just talk about the glass for a second. These glasses came to us when we went to Origins last year. They were being sold by the Barley pub across the street from the Origins game fair, and it has a dwarf on the front. Yeah, this IPA is awful. Um, I'm sorry, Germany takes it. This is not a good beer either. Neither one of these are good, but this is the least vile of these two beers. Um, this one I can actually finish. The IPA I'm going to struggle with the rest of the night. It's probably going to go warm before I finish it, unless I just really go full bore and just guzzle it because that's rank. That's awful. Jeremy will let me know whether he liked it or not. He does like IPAs. He doesn't like all IPAs though, so I don't know if that's going to fit his standard as a good IPA. But we shall see. He'll let me know either in the comments or later when I see him. But yeah, Germany takes it. Also a decent can. I mean, it's not a cat riding a unicorn with a gold desert eagle, but I can't give it to him. That IPA is awful. Thank you so much for joining me for the 12 days of Beermas. This was day 12. Hopefully next year I will be able to get some advent calendars and actually go back to the Battle of the Beer advent calendars. Also, I hope to be soon finishing up the Battle of the Retro American Beers so that I can move on to another beer review project that Jeremy and I have been rolling around between us. Hopefully we'll be able to do that this summer. I'd really like to finish that up. I will be back here shortly with a music review. Otherwise, I will see you guys all again soon. You have a great holiday, a Merry Christmas tomorrow, and a nice chill rest of the week. Hopefully you are off and or working short, so that you guys can enjoy the holiday with your families. You guys have a great one. Much love.